Have you ever looked at your cat and asked, why are you here? So let's take a step back. 1, why are you talking to your cat? And 2, what if your cat doesn't need to talk back? What if, depending on the color of the cat, actually tells us that an area in our life that we need to focus and put our attention to? And that the cat is there to act as a guardian, a protector, a healer, to help us go through this next phase in our growth and evolution during this whole spiritual awakening journey. So today's episode is going to be an exciting one for all you cat ladies, cat owners, new to cats. I'm going to share with you 6 different colored cats that will show up in your life as you start entering this world of energy, and how cats are the guardians of the spiritual realm, but also a guardian to lead and protect us through this next stage of our growth and evolution. So, are you ready for it? Let's get started. Timmy Do, let's go. Welcome back to my channel. It used to just be about crystals and moldavite, but now it looks like we're going to add cats to the mix. As I started learning about energies and crystals, I noticed all these cats showing up in my field of consciousness. Recently, I decided to adopt a kitten. And the more research I did on it, I was like, this is so interesting. Depending on the color of your cat, it represents an area in our life for us to focus and put our attention to. And for those who already have a cat, pay attention to what your cat is trying to communicate with you, even though, when we talk to our cats and they don't talk back. But there is a significance there. And if you can decode these kind of signs, you can understand why these cats even showed up in your life. And it will answer the question, why are you here? Number 1, the black cats. This one I feel like is the most misunderstood cat, taught growing up. Don't play around black cats. Don't be near black cats. Don't let a black cat cross you. Anything to do with a black cat, don't even bother. So what is it about the black cat? And how did it even get this whole reputation? First, let's take a look at its color. Black. So black is the complete opposite of white on the whole color spectrum. Because the cat can already navigate through the spiritual realm, by having the color black is also vibrating at that vibration of the color. And so the black cat is actually like the main protector of spirits, dark entities. If you take a look back, cats are, especially black cats, are very intuitive on healing with the body, different herbal medicines. They could really pick up on what herbal medicines to use. And so the cat's aura is actually pretty big. And as humans, right, we can, if we learn how to tune in, we can actually pick up on some of these energy thoughts of the cats. And so, especially herbalists, people in medicine, they'll be gravitated towards black cats and using them help brew different medicine to help heal people. And I feel like that's how it all got started, people relating it to like witches. Now, keep in mind, there are good and bad witches, a duality in everything here on earth. And so some of these herbalists would use it for good stuff and others don't. So how it really made more sense to me. I noticed when I was in Vietnam, when I met one of my friends, she was a pharmacist and who left to Vietnam, left her career as a pharmacist in the US to go to Vietnam for something that she's not even sure yet. And when I sent a moldavite back to her, a black cat came into her life. And now it just like finally dawned on me on how this is all correlated. When I was talking with her, I was sharing like, what if, there's different medicine that could help raise the human consciousness. And now, ever since I sent the moldavite back, a black kitten showed up in her life. And so it just made so much more sense on why a black cat would gravitate towards her, because she's going to work in the field of herbal medicine, even chemistry, alchemy. So that was a very interesting observation. And then also, you hear this, like they jump over a tomb and like people would come alive, something like that. I don't know. But how I interpret it is, when a person dies, our soul leaves the body. And it's just our spirit, our consciousness that's in our body. And so when we pass, a black cat can help guide us, lead us to the afterlife, leading us to where we need to go, navigating through the darkness. And so hopefully that clears up all this like heavy, dark, death stuff about cats. It just makes a lot of sense when you view it on an energetic level. All right, hopefully that didn't freak anybody out about black cats yet. So let's move to the second color, gray. So if you have a gray tabby cat that came into your life, remember, depending on the color of the cat, it also depends on the stage that we are in our life. So if we're vibrating at the color gray, this vibration of gray, then the cat is going to be in the field of consciousness to gravitate towards our life, because remember, like attracts like. And so a gray cat represents light coming in from darkness. When a gray cat shows up in your life, it's telling you, hey, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Perhaps you're going through a dark stage in your life and you're starting to see some kind of hope and inspiration, or maybe the cat's there to help you, lead you and guide you to this next stage in your life that's giving you hope, right? Because when you start going deeper into this spirituality, energetic work, in your whole spiritual awakening, you're going to realize that there's no such thing as coincidences. And the color, the vibration, like we are vibrational beings. And so if we're vibrating at a certain color, certain vibration, it's going to attract that kind of things around us. So if a gray cat shows up in your life, it could mean that it's helping you see some light through this area or this phase in your life that you're going through, and it's there to help lead and protect you and heal you through this next stage of evolution. So hopefully that helps for the gray. Next one is the brown tabby cats. So again, let's take a look at brown. Brown is very close to black, right? Because black, even in the crystal world, when you have a black crystal, it shields, protects us against negative energy. When you're working with brown or dark crystals, like dark red, brown, it's there to help us ground, right? So brown color, the vibration is grounding, very grounding, like the dirt is brown. So when you have a brown cat that showed up in your life, it's telling you to ground yourself. Perhaps all of us have these big dreams, and sometimes we get very ungrounded. A brown cat will show up in your life to tell you to like take it nice and steady. You'll get what you need. Just remember to ground yourself and be patient with yourself. The orange tabby cat. So this is actually the one that I'm adopting. And I noticed when I first came to Vietnam, an orange tabby also came into my life. And that was the first time I realized, like, man, maybe I can see myself being a cat mom. First, you have to realize, like, the color of the cat is orange. So the vibration of orange, the color vibration is actually the sun, the color of the sun. So it represents leadership, people taking charge, taking the lead. So it's telling you that you're about to enter this next phase of leadership, stepping up to the plate. Yeah, just standing up and leading people. And I noticed, wow, my other friend who was also in Vietnam, who received the moldavite, orange tabby also showed up in her life around the same time. And I noticed she's definitely a leader, doing all the social media, doing her own business. She's very independent. And I can see how that correlates to both of our lives as we are stepping into this front stage of taking a lead and sharing with people about how this works on an energetic level and not just purely reality, what we think it is, right? You hear all this reality's illusion, all this woo-woo stuff that nobody really understands. But if you really take a step back and first focus on the color, you realize, wow, an orange tabby will come into my life because I'm vibrating at that color, and it's telling me focus on this energy. It's going to help lead and guide us to how we should step up and take the lead on this next phase of our growth. So it's very exciting to see, and I'm super excited to get my kitten in a few weeks. So those who have an orange cat in your life, if you're not already taking the lead, it's telling you something. You don't really need to talk to it. Here's a little tip. Step up. Next one is the white cat. So first, pay attention to the color white. White is a very high frequency color, so it's vibrating at a very high energy. So whenever a white cat shows up in your life, there's also significance that maybe a spirit guide showed up in cat form to help lead you and guide you through this white light. Perhaps it's time for you to look more into spirituality, learning more about the divine light. The white cat represents good fortune, symbolizes good luck. So if you have a white cat, perhaps that's what it's trying to tell you. Fortune and good luck is coming your way. Or to focus more on your spirituality. Who knows? Ask your cat. So the last one we're going to go over is the Tuxedo cat, the black and white cat. Oh, this one is a mixture between good and evil, right? Black and white, because there's always a yin and yang to everything. So if a tuxedo or black and white cat shows up in your life, it's telling you that bring joy and fun and humor into your life, because this color is very playful. So if you are a playful person, you have a black and white cat, look what it's trying to tell you. Add more fun into your life if you aren't already fun. So if you're already vibrating at that energy, of course you're going to attract a black and white cat. So something to look into, be aware of. Let loose, relax, because that's the energy either the cat wants you to be aware of, focus on, or that you're already vibrating at the energy to attract that cat. Because remember, energy can come in two ways. One is we can attract it if we're vibrating at that same level. Or two, if we're lacking something, that color may help complement us and make us complete. Not that maybe it's a sign that we need it to help us balance. So what do you think about the 6 different color cats? Does that kind of correlate to what cat you have, or the phase in your life that you're currently going through? Or is it there to help you make sense of something that you're currently going through, or a phase that you're going through you haven't really figured out? So let me know in the comments below. So I'm brand new to this whole cat thing, but just piecing it together with all the crystal stuff I've been learning and all this spirituality energy work, it just makes a lot of sense. And the next episode, I'm going to go over the more specialized cat, the one they have in Egypt and the Siamese, and the more special breed cats. So I'm sure there's a significance behind that. So I'll do some more digging. Make sure you subscribe. And then I'm about to launch a spirituality for dummies on how people can really understand all this woo talk, but on a simplified level. And I think it's a great way to tie it in with crystals and cats, because people can relate to that. A lot of people can't relate to like spirits, ghosts. That freaks people out more than anything. But I think if we bring it down and make it more relatable and simplified, please. When I first started this whole spiritual journey thing, I was so lost in what people were sharing, like quantum physics or energy, stay on the high vibe, like love and light. Every time I hear those kind of things, it kind of triggers me. It's like, oh God, I hope I'm never one of those people. Like it's really annoying, because they're like so peaceful and loving, and like, please tell me how you even got there, right? Because we have to go through different phases, different emotions, and to really jump to this next level, because it's very challenging to go from like a anger state or a fear state all the way to like love and light, right? It's a big leap. Not saying that it's not possible, but there's also a evolution of growth. Like there's different phases we need to go through and experience to really see how it works. And so if I say love and light right now, I think it would trigger a lot of people, or not even pay attention to me or whatever I have to say. But I feel like it's very interesting on how, I think that's why the cat is actually showing up in my life, is to actually use cats to help people relate on how it shows up in their world, and how the cat can actually lead us to our next stage of evolution, ascension. And that's exactly what the world needs right now, as the entire world is going through the spiritual awakening. I hope that makes sense. I hope it wasn't like too weird out there woo-woo for you. But make sure you subscribe. I'm going to start releasing a Spirituality for Dummies series, and I'm sure you would get a lot out of that. So that's all I have for you today. Timmy Doo signing off.